Hello, my friends. Greg Klaumanzer here, your business and life coach for men. Um, Wanted to do a short video and kind of a shout out, still kind of formulating my thoughts, but it's really about motivation and motivating clients. A lot of my clients come to me and they complain about their motivation being a function of lack of systems or processes. And although I think it's really important in business and in life to have systems and processes, um, but you still have to utilize those systems or processes or implement them or manage them. So one of the big ideas I'm playing with and sharing with my clients is this idea of shifting context versus systems. And so I'll just kind of illustrate a little story for you out of my own life. And um, I like to have my environments, my house, my office, things relatively neat. I like to stay ahead of the game in terms of trying to manage my household and things like that. So I'm not what I call not playing behind the eight ball. So I like to anticipate and try to keep things orderly and cleaned up and all that. Every once in a while I do get behind, and so it takes a tremendous amount of effort or willpower or drudgery to kind of get everything back to what I call clean or baseline, if you will. Um, so one of the things again that I've been working with is I was looking at keeping an orderly house or environment, out of my own efforts and staying ahead, and so it takes a tremendous amount of energy and consciousness and willpower, if you will, to stay on top of that. And then, there was some friends coming over for the weekend, and I was going to cook and entertain. And what I noticed was my kind of impeccability around my space, and not only being ahead of it, but feeling motivated and excited about the upcoming weekend and cooking and sharing my space with other people was really, really exciting. And so that excitement motivated me. It wasn't like I was pushing myself out of drudgery. So I still lived in the same place, still the same chores, still the same things going on that need to be addressed. But because the context of having other people over changed versus the context of nobody coming or just me, it was a game changer in terms of motivation and getting on top of things. So I've been playing with this idea really in the scope of business and in life. If we change the context, we're actually motivated or inspired rather than feeling like we have to use willpower or accountability and being pushed and driven and all of that. So, what I would invite you to do is just kind of consider, what would be a context, shift or a reframe that would allow you to feel inspired or motivated. I want to go back and talk a little bit about context. Context, I think, is very simple to understand. I shared it with a client today, is that, just imagine you get up in the morning and you're making your morning commute. If you make a commute, or just kind of bear with me and imagine you're making a commute in the morning, and suddenly you find yourself behind, a little old lady, 80-year-old lady, and she's slowing up the traffic, and you're concerned about getting into the office on time, and so just notice what feelings might come up under that context and situation, and what thoughts might be running through your head, and your judgments that you may have of this little old lady. And so just kind of as you go through that own process yourself, the feelings that might come up might be frustration or anger or strong judgments and thoughts. This person shouldn't even have their driver's license or something along those lines. Okay, so that's situation number one. Now let's do a replay of that same situation, but change the context a little bit. So again, imagine yourself getting up, making the morning commute, and you find yourself behind this 80-year-old lady. But this time, what's different is this 80-year-old lady is either your mother or your grandmother. And so just imagine driving behind this 80-year-old lady who is your mother or your grandmother or somebody dear or family member, and just notice what feelings may arise, thoughts or judgments or ideas may come up within that context. And it may be subtle, but I will guarantee there are differences in terms of how you're approaching your thoughts, your mindset, and your orientation. Possibly feeling the need to protect, maybe escort this person, and keep an eye on the other drivers on the road. So, just changing the context, you might actually feel more protective than feeling like you want to attack the person in the first scenario. So, anyways, this is just a very simple illustration to show you the power of context or reframing can have on your mindset, your behavior, your emotions, your outlook, and things like that. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is just kind of play with this idea and look at, how can I reframe or shift, or do I need to play a bigger game and shift the context for how I'm approaching things? I had a client who struggled with getting their estate handled, and their will and all of this thing. And ironically, that's what they do for a living. And so, he's tried to use his own willpower and, goals and all of this. And so I just really invited him to look at, just imagine the New York Times financial editor was going to interview you in 6 months. And the interview was really about using your own personal finances as a case story for what you do for others, and just notice what might shift for you within that context. And or just imagine you were going on national television and being interviewed as an expert for succession planning or estate planning and getting your finances in order, and they were interviewing you based on your case study of your own finances versus what you knew and did for other clients. And this really shook him up quite a bit in terms of getting him to actually experience the difference between setting a goal that's very linear and the challenges and frustrations versus creating a new context that, if I was going to go on national TV, again, whether it's true or not is neither here nor there. It's the context that creates that shift. So anyways, I just invite you to play with this idea. It's a coaching tool or technique that I often use with my clients. And it's called reframing or shifting the context for which an individual is showing up or operating in life. All right, it's Greg Klaumanzer here, your business and life coach. I'm working primarily with men right now, so if you are a male professional or business owner between 35 and 45 years old, and you're making, I won't go into my income requirements for people that I work with, but it is significant. I find that people who are actually making money in that age range of 35 to 45, married, have a couple kids, that I'm just really best suited to help them with the challenges of balancing, growing their business, and handling the issues that so many of us face with family and fatherhood and life balance and health and business and all of that. All right, I've said enough for today. This is Greg Klaumanzer again. Thanks for watching. Please leave your comments below, and I'll catch up with you on the next video. Thanks.